No, we're good.
Like we're not even doing the show anymore.
Right.
All the fire in the sky makes me feel so alive, even if it's just a night. Familiar life kills me every day, resurrect every time I hear your name. One thing a long time ago, it comes back to you if you let it go. Every day is a second chance, a new beginning. Hold my head to the clouds, 'cause I can win. All I know is celebrate when you can. I just go to outer space and never land. Ain't nothing about me typical. Spread love, that's the ritual. I know nobody's perfect. We all from the dirt, no matter how rich, no matter how. We are, we are, we are. Oh, all the fire in the sky makes me feel so alive, even if it's just a night. Familiar life kills me every day, resurrect every time I hear your name. One thing a long time ago, it comes back to you if you let it go. Black whiskey, boom, 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 boom. Is there a difference?
You're now listening to The Real,
Man, I appreciate them dudes for talking about.
The Raw,
Wait, they were talking about
The Relatable,
That's exactly what I've been going through.
The Relentlessly Real Podcast.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome.
What up?
We are here for another wonderful, amazing, outstanding episode of the Relentlessly Real Podcast, where we discuss real, raw, and relatable topics. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to the podcast today. Let's kick this off with some introductions. My name is John.
My name's Mike.
and I'm trying to get myself together, but I'm Terrence.
You're still Terrence, though. All right, you're still Terrence. Even as you get yourself together, you're still Terrence. You try to put these in-ears on and all, making sure that he can hear.
What's going on?
It's a struggle today, I see. Anyway, hey guys, it's almost Thanksgiving. That's dope.
Praise the Lord.
4 days from now, Thanksgiving will be on and popping. So you can have some stuffing, macaroni, cheese, ham, string beans, greens.
Beans.
But the whole
I'm
song.
gonna say something controversial.
What you about to say?
Thanksgiving is my least favorite holiday.
Whoa!
And I know people are about to light this screen up.
As they should. What do you have against Thanksgiving? What did it ever do to you?
So, as we've discussed before,
Uh-huh.
I have the palate of a 7-year-old.
Oh yeah.
And so I don't really get I'm not a foodie.
Mhm.
And so I'm just I don't gain any weight during Thanksgiving. In fact, I probably lose about 3-4 pounds.
Wow. And you're like the only one I know that does that, because I think everybody else in the entire world gains weight the next 3 days.
So you heard it here first.
Yeah. That's a very unpopular opinion. I'm glad you stated it.
Very unpopular.
So stupid of an opinion.
It's dumb. It's really dumb. But you can't call it dumb because I already called it dumb. So now you're joking.
I can still do it. I'm going to double down on you. Pause. Also, I'm going to make
Whoa,
sure I said pause.
You can't pause that,
I
John.
said pause, so that makes everything safe. I'm good now. Sweet potato pie, sweet potato pie, or pumpkin pie. Which one? Where are y'all on this? Sweet potato pie, pumpkin pie.
Sweet potato all day.
I'm pumpkin. It's like, nah,
But-
I'm joking.
but
I'm joking. I don't
about to
know.
say-
I'm pumpkin
Talk about
spice.
me.
I'm pumpkin spice. Everything else though, like pumpkin spice latte, pumpkin
Mm.
spice cookies, pumpkin spice whatever. But
I didn't realize how fire pumpkin spice is, actually.
know,
In all seriousness, I got that from Dunkin' Donuts the other day, a pumpkin spice coffee, and I was like, my lord, I've been missing out on pumpkin spice. I had no idea it was like on and popping like that, but it's good. It's good. But sweet potato pie is better than all of it. So, you know,
It is.
anyway.
Sweet potato pie is good.
We have a full docket. It's been a heck of a week this week. I mean, when I say back to back to back to back to back, things have been happening and occurring. I was just like, man, we are going to have a full show today. Ain't no lie there at all. So my question of the day for you is, which sex is better? I miss you sex, drunk sex, cheating sex, we both ain't sex, high sex, this is the last time sex, or makeup sex?
You are assuming that we've had all of those, John. Like
I've
had all of those.
I didn't say you have. I'm just asking out of the ones that fit your lifestyle and the way you live your life.
Well,
which sex
I've
is
never
better?
been drunk. I'm
Okay, so
practically a
let's
virgin,
just stop.
So therefore,
first of all, are you drunk right now before you even finish this this list of things you've never done?
I may or may not be. So
okay, right. So which sex is better? And you guys can answer that are on the chat. You know, feel free. But except for my sister, that's weird. I miss you sex, drunk sex, cheating sex. Both of us ain't sex, high sex. This is the last time sex, or makeup sex. Which sex is better?
Oh man. So first of all, Devin put it best. It was like, yo, you mentioned everything but regular in this joint. Like your regular schmegular.
Because we all know that regular just ain't. I mean, come on. But if you want, Mike, if you feel that regular sex is the best sex, then please, by all means, state it.
I'm not saying that. But what I will say is that makeup sex is the best sex now. Reason why I say now is because like I lived a whole nother lifestyle a few years ago. So like if we were talking a few years ago, back before, you know, I got my life together, it would have been drunk sex. Like I just feel like I can do anything. So
yeah. I hear you. Devin says he didn't say I love you sex, morning sex, kids finally with the bed sex. Now that last one hits different. Thank you. But yeah. So yeah, that's basically the type of sex. What about you, Terrence? What type of sex do you enjoy?
I feel like I'm gonna be so carnal, but I do think drunk sex has a little different kick to it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's just like I don't know what it is.
I'm gonna beat both of y'all out. I'm gonna say vacation.
This is the second thing you said, John. That needs a pause.
Is that not okay to say?
The second thing you said.
I can't beat both of y'all out.
No,
in winning this argument. I mean, did I have to say that too? Okay. Yes. So
where's my wife?
My apologies for saying that. I'm gonna say vacation sex with drunk sex. Drunk sex while you're on vacation. Okay. It literally hits so different, right? And what I'll say about this is that I feel that you're having better sex than you actually are. Like I feel like if we put a video and look back, we'd be like, wow, we really weren't doing that great of a job. We really thought we was killing it and we wasn't. If we roll the footage, I'm saying if we roll the footage, you're like, we just really thought we was killing it. Because you just feel the energy feels so like, ooh, this is really, yeah. And it may not be that way if we really roll the footage back. You know, it might just actually be, wow, that was basic. And actually sloppy. We were actually all over the place. Where were you? Why was you over there? And why did your leg go this way? I mean, it's just a lot of questions asked, I think, when you talk about that type of sex. But it does hit different. Vacation sex does hit different. So, Terrence, I know you normally do the Earth is Ghetto. I got one for you for this week because I felt that it needed to be a little extra something on there that I wanted to make sure we all saw and kind of ask ourselves these questions about ourselves. Like, what's wrong with America? What's wrong with us today? So here's what I got for you guys for the Earth is Ghetto.
To say about the fact that I got 6 kids with a lot of people got something to say about the fact that I got 6 kids with 6 different men. So I'm just going to tell y'all why it is better to do it this way. If I had 6 kids with all the same dude, I get 34% of his income, which is only $680 a month. If I got 6 kids with 6 different dudes, I get 17% from each one of them, which is $340 a month from each one. $340 a month times 6 baby daddies is $2,040. So why don't you have 6 baby daddies?
There we go.
She's asking a great question.
There we go. I said, ma'am, you know what? You are really, I'm sorry. I never thought about it that way. This is an investment for you. This is going to make sure your kids are good for the next 17 years. If you do it staggered, you're good for at least a good 25 years. I was not mad at it.
That is terrible. But at the same time, like the hustle, I'm like, dang.
Yeah. Because you got to be with 6 different men. Just so we're clear, that for this theory to work, it's got to be 6 different for it to make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you balancing your checkbook with which baby daddy paid on which date of the month. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but she's making $2,000, 2 stacks.
She's a certified accountant.
Yeah, I'm actually not mad at her. Like, a lot of people were coming for her on Instagram. I was sitting there like, you know what, lady, you have a point. If you only had one with 6 kids with one guy, that's still 34%. I get what you're saying, but you keep lining them up. You're getting stacked. You're calling, stacked on stack.
She's just trying to come up on
the system that works to their benefit, which is problematic in and of itself. But I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, John and Mike, are you willing to be 7 and 8? That's the real question.
There's no need to even ask that question. First of all, there are no more kids that I'm looking to have. Okay, let's answer that question first, and then after that question, there's also no more kids that I'm looking to have. Okay, I'm good. All right, we talked about that 1,000 times before. But aside from that, no, I mean, it just was funny to see the earth is still yet.
Earth is ghetto. And when I see
time.
stuff like that, people post stuff like that out of pure honesty. The only thing I can say is, if a meteor would happen to strike right now, I understand. I fully understand why the meteor just.
It's like it's time.
We could go.
Yeah,
honestly,
it's time for this to happen.
God is probably like, you know what? This experiment was great.
I'm sick of them. I think God's overall take of it is I'm sick of them. These people just keep doing stupid stuff over and over again. And if they think it's better to do it this way than even to actually just get another degree, I'm sick of them. I think that's what God said. That's what I believe.
Give him free will, they say. Give him free will. And this is what they do with it.
At some point, God's going to be like, all right, time to start over.
Smash the whole world and start all over again.
Smash it up, ball it up, throw it in the trash.
So Terrence, you do the you always do your next flick and chill, and I think there's a movie that you saw that you say is highly recommended, maybe possibly. I don't know.
I happened to see the last James Bond film, No Time to Die, and first of all, it was a great film, and I don't want to do any spoilers if you haven't seen it yet. Like if you're a Bond fan and you haven't seen it yet, I do judge you for not seeing this film. Right. And it's actually out right now, and you could actually buy it on demand right now, which is stupid to rent a movie for $20. But hey, you can watch it from the comfort of your own home. And I like how this is showing, because this is the first time that a Bond film has followed the same plot line through consecutive Bond films. So it's pretty much a 5-part series, and it started in 2012. And I think 2012, I think I'm right. And no, it's older than 12. I think 2008. Anyway, this was a great end for a franchise. If you don't know, this is his last time playing James Bond. They're looking for a new James Bond, and I enjoyed the film. It's a bittersweet film, and if you go see it, you'll see why I'm saying that. It marks the end of an era for James Bond, and I'm looking forward to whoever they pick to hand over take over the reins. But he's my favorite James Bond. And a lot of people say, whoa, that's a lot, like Sean Connery and blah, blah, blah. Daniel Craig by far is my favorite James Bond. I just think he played the role really well. They got great directors. They got great writers. And something about plot lines that continue on through several movies, it just keeps you engaged. You want to find out what happens next. And they did it in a way so it didn't drag. It was maybe a small part of the plot, but then there's still a major plot in the background. And so it's a great, great film. It's shot very well. It's acted very well. Yeah. Shout out to the Black actors and actresses that were in this one that were really good. I love the fact that we have a Black Moneypenny. I love the fact that and it's not a secret that the new 007 in this film is a Black woman. So shout out to that. Man, them freaking Brits. Them Brits can act. It's just something about them British people can just act. And so it's a good film. It's a really good film.
I remember, I think it was back in like 2005 or 2006 when Casino Royale came out. And the moment I saw that movie with this actor playing in it, I was like, yo, this is going to be crazy. Like for them to continue to keep going this long was expected at this point.
He got a lot of flack because remember, because they were all upset. I mean, they're already upset at the possibility of a black James Bond, but they were upset at the fact that there was a blonde James Bond. Like James Bond's not blonde. Like, and they were like when they announced him, I remember they were like, they were ostracizing him on all across the media before they even made it film the scene. A blonde James Bond, how dare you? He's not supposed to be blonde. And
at the same time, that's people that don't want to accept change, man. It's always time for change at some point. Like think about what they're doing now with this 5th iteration of the movie, or the last of whatever series that they're doing. They got a new James Bond coming on that's completely different from anything in history that we've seen. So
and they floated some names of people to take over. Some people say Idris is too old now. I can kind of see that.
I can see
what's the dude from Get Out? His name has been floated.
Oh, I don't think he'd be a good one.
I think he had to lose some weight, but Daniel Kaluuya, he can really act though. He can really act. So
I don't think
I want him to be Bond though.
Yeah,
he can really act, but I don't think he can act in that capacity.
I don't know. I say that before, but you know what I said? Who's writing it? Who's directing it?
Yeah,
that's the only reason why Casino Royale was dope, because Martin Campbell is a dope director. So
yeah, I said what I said. But I hear your point though as well. I will go see this movie in theaters, maybe, possibly. I don't know if nobody else is in there. COVID restrictions and all apply. So, guys, there's been a leaked video, and I want to make sure I do a proper warning because the footage you are going to see is going to be a little bit aggressive. It's a leaked video of former NFL running back Zac Stacy and a physical altercation with his baby mother. And so here's the backstory. It's like basically they're having an argument and he goes into like starting to throw her around the room, basically. So if you don't want to see this is your time now to turn away. Don't look, get away from there, because we're about to show a little bit of it so we can hop into this conversation about it. So that's where things are. Here we go.
As Zac just throws a couple haymakers at his baby mama and then proceeds to just toss her against the TV like a rag doll. Again, guys, this is pretty upsetting to watch and isn't for the faint-hearted.
I did. Listen, things are way different now. Back. Listen. You think that was okay? No. Now I do not. Please.
You thought that was okay? And then you're going to ruin relationship and talking about I'm destructive?
So I want to stop it there because I literally cannot watch it without boiling in my skin. Like I literally can't watch it without feeling like I will. Yeah, like this moment. This is the 3rd or 4th time I've seen the video, and I just can't. Y'all go first. I don't even have nothing for it right now.
So the audacity of this coward to put his hands on a woman, right? Not just a woman, but somebody that is significantly like not as strong as you are. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Yeah. That just bores me to my core, man. And I just hope he gets everything that he deserves.
Yeah,
straight up.
I want him buried in Rikers. Like I want him to go the toughest with dudes that are like bigger than him.
Yeah.
I kept saying the whole time, like, where is her family? Yeah. Cousins, brothers, uncles, like dad, like somebody. Because you would literally have to. There's not too much I would go to prison for. Mm-hmm. Almost nothing. Yo, I will go to jail for London.
Yeah.
It's it. Like it's just it.
Yeah.
Makes sense? Like
what would you do in a moment? I got a couple of what would you do moments out of this, because obviously I have 2 girls, you have a girl. Mike, you guys are in hopes of, of course, one day having some children. What would you do if this were to ever happen scenario wise to your children? Would you take action on your own, or would you just call authorities? Like what would be your
not like that. Not like I think it's I can't. Like I literally can't.
You can't call the police.
I'm saying this. I would want to, but I do not think I'm not confident in my ability at that moment to restrain myself.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure I would pull up. Like legit.
I'm methodical, so it wouldn't go down. I would like to think that I would think it through and make sure justice is served in the way that is most pleasing for everybody except for him.
Yeah.
Right. I honestly, I would really have to pray because, and I'm speaking off of experience at this point because I've had situations like that with family members have gone through situations like that. Probably not as severe, but nonetheless, somebody has put their hands on them. And I thank God for the Holy Spirit, right? Because in my flesh, I'm like, oh, let's go find this dude, where he work at, whatever. But I was able to think it through, and we were able to call the authorities. Everything worked out the way it was supposed to work out. There were moments within that where I had to speak to like the people that's closest to me, like, hey man, I'm calling you because I need you to talk me through something, because if I don't talk to somebody about it, it's going to go way left right now. So it's like realistically, man, like you got to think about everything. And because my mindset is methodical like that, I'm going to think about every single scenario and be like, okay, what do you really want to happen here? Do you want to like go to jail and risk like your family losing out on you as a resource, as a family member, available family member here in society? Or, you know, are you going to just make it do what it do? You know, revenge right now, you know? So, and I feel like a lot of people will say, hey, you know, like Michelle, she said dead on arrival. You know what I'm saying? Like most people would be like street justice, all of that. Like people will say that, but folks really won't know what they're going to react, what their reaction is going to be until they're in that scenario.
Yeah. I think to Terrence's point, I don't know either. You know, like I feel like I won't know until it happens. My mind is telling me, oh yeah, I'll try to do my best to call the police. But my other part of me is like, there's some sense of natural response that I think occurs as well, where especially if you're in if I'm in that environment, you know what I'm saying, and I see it, there's some natural responses that just you don't know what you would do. You just might just start going off, you know. And I feel like I'm more likely to go towards that because I can't watch. I can't see that. You know what I mean? I can't be in an environment where that happens.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have you guys ever had friends that have gone through, you said, I know Mike said, you already said that you've gone through something like that. So Terrence, what about you? Do you have friends?
I don't think I've had any friends who like where it was like that.
Do you think they would tell you? All of your friends would tell you?
I feel like they would. Yeah. I feel like they would.
I feel like people don't talk about stuff like this. Domestic violence is not something I hear about often, except when it's captured on video or some story breaks about how somebody got killed because of it. It's not something that people talk about around a dinner table.
Here's the thing that made me mad as I started like hearing people and rumblings. Like that's the thing was like, well, you know, like, well, she set him up, and well, what did she say? And I just felt like I was just so like, it doesn't matter at that point. It doesn't. I'm very like my job treats me to be very due process, very impartial, very let's get all the evidence, let's get all the facts. But I'm just like legit. It does not matter in this scenario. It does not matter.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, and I feel like to John, what your question is, I just feel like in some capacity, has he shown red flags to do that? And she stuck around despite the red flags. And it's just like, if I'm around and as your brother, cousin, friend, or whatever, and I see the red flags, I'm gonna pull up at that moment. Like, yo, legit.
It's like one of those things where you're thinking about in the back of your head, this is going to happen. This is going to go down at some point in time. So it's like, as soon as you get that phone call, it's like, I knew it. And you getting up and you rolling, right? Yeah. I think that's the point that you were trying to make, Terrence, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think what Michelle said is true too. It's an embarrassing topic, you know, which is why I don't think it's going to be something that people will seek to highlight or seek to even be like, yo, this is what's going on in my life. And even to Khalid's point, domestic violence isn't always physical. It's sometimes it's mental. You know, so if you're in a domestic violence situation that isn't even, no hands have been thrown, only words, but words are just as damaging and just as crippling. What would you do in those type of situations as well? The one thing, I mean, he has been arrested after the horrifying video emerged. What do you say?
He finally did. I saw that.
Yeah, he was on. I think he was on a run or something like that, hiding or whatever the case may be. And he's facing charges of criminal mischief and aggravated battery.
And that's the part where I'm like, I can definitely see him not facing any jail time, legit. And that's the part that makes me mad.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
I can see him not
evidence.
jail
The
time.
video was there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and he'll just get up if he's never been charged before. Like, it makes sense. Like, I see that part. Like, you don't want to. Like,
you see what part?
It's almost similar to like how I even in my schoolhouse. Like, I have bigger things. I only have so much capacity for suspensions, and so I got to save my suspensions for things. Like the major things, like make sense. And he's not dealing drugs. He's not make sense. He got into a fight. Okay, cool. We can send him home for a day. We can bring him back. But if I didn't have all those other things, the fight alone, I'm suspending you for a couple of days. You see where I'm going? And so I see like we got black people running drug rings. We got African Americans doing this. He assaulted a girl. Let's give him a fine. Let's put him in probation. He can go back on the streets. He didn't kill nobody. He didn't rape you. That's the issue where I see the government standpoint. But at the same time, bro, he has to suffer for this.
No, he does.
Like he like, and so that's why I that's to Mike's point earlier. I would want to have faith that I would call the police, but at the end of the day, I can see this being a slap on the wrist. And so that part of me, you say, I'm going to make sure it's not a slap on the wrist. He's never going to do this ever again to anybody else. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can see me doing some very like off the wall stuff to make sure he understands. Make sense? Because I feel like the government's not gonna make him understand.
Well, from a different perspective, because he is somewhat in a, I guess, highlighted role within society, right? Like he's a former NFL player, or I mean former, right? Is he current or former? I don't know.
Former, yeah,
former NFL player. So people know him. He probably has certain endorsements. I don't know. Certain business ties or whatever the case. Now that he has all of these things within society that he's tied to, he's set to a different standard. So as soon as something like this comes out, it's like, well, we kind of have to make an example out of him, and or at least have to or would like to, because it's in the limelight, because of what he's attached to. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I hope.
Last question for this is: could you still be friends with somebody after finding out they were beating on their wife? So if you found out I was beating the crap out of Jovita, throwing her around like you just saw that video, what will be how would you go from there?
Not without seeing you go through counseling and seeing you get help. Like I feel like and I hate to bring up a show, but John, having you watch this, you like I think about the show like The Morning Show and the main guy, Steve Carell's character, and seeing him, all the stuff that he did that was harmful in the first season. And the second season kind of pointed you to like there is spots for redemption, right? And so I could be your friend if our dynamic is going to change drastically. Like number one. But at the same time, I want to see you undergo some of the things to make this, to improve yourself, to heal that family, make sense, to restitute. Like you got to do something. Otherwise, the purpose of friendship is that we have things that are in common and we have things that bond us. You doing that is like, that's too much. Like, so I feel like it will never be the same level. Like it will never be the same level. It might be like a more so, hey, checking in, how's it going? Like, it makes sense, or etc. That would change the dynamic. Yeah, that would change the dynamic.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that. The dynamics would change automatically off back. Probably not immediately. Well, no, probably immediately, but it won't. It will go unnoticed because my focus will be turned into, hey man, how you been doing? Have you been going to counseling? What have you been learning? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my focus on our friendship at that point. Now that I probably see you, you're getting yourself together, clean, in a state of like not beating on people no more or whatever like that. Like you're progressing. It's like, hey, I'm actually going to back off now because I would like to say that's something that I would back off from as a friend.
Right.
But again, people don't know how they're really going to react until they're in a situation like that and they're forced to make a decision.
100%.
Yeah. So
no, that's a tough one, and I struggled to even deal with the realities of that. Like, would I be cool with somebody after that or whatever the case may be? I don't know. It's a tough one because the truth of the matter is I really don't even know if I already have friends that do this.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, I don't know. You don't. We only know because this video surfaced. We don't know what people do in the privacy of their homes.
And Alicia brought up an interesting point about like, something like that shows the true character of somebody at that moment in time, because that was okay. There was a time where I wasn't who I am today. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't the best. Like, this still isn't the best version of myself today, but there was a point in time where I was worse. Right. So as God gives us that type of grace, like us as Christians, right? Christian men on this podcast, we are, inclined to be able to show that same grace too, to give people a chance, you know what I'm saying, for redemption, right?
Yeah.
So
and that's the part I was talking about with the show, Mike. Like, I'm not trying to ruin it. I like the second season, how it talks about like the person, is there a spot to redeem yourself, where like to and I just that was a tough call. And I always watch the post things of the shows, like, and they talk about why they shot the scene like that, because it almost like the show wanted you to forgive the guy, and really you're like, nah, he's wrong, like he's flat out wrong. But it just brought up the idea: is there a spot to redeem yourself? And then what happens if there is no one to redeem? Like, it's just like, and like I said, God's grace, all those things is like, it was really prevalent. And I look at the situation like where, on top of that, like if it was like one of you all, like, I'm kind of friends with Renee too, and I'm kind of friends with Jovita too. So
Not
it's just
really.
like I'm like, like,
you think you're friends, but never.
But you know what I'm saying? I hate him. So it's just like, at one point it's just like, I can't be like, nah, like, you on your own, like, sorry, that's my boy, like, sorry, like, I can't do that, like, and so
I feel like Jovita and I talked about this a little bit. She said she thinks y'all will ride for me.
Wow.
Nope. I don't like her now. I'm just joking.
Hilarious. I mean, I don't know. I think in my own mind, I would have thought y'all would have. I think y'all would have rolled for me, but the way y'all rolled for me would look different. It's what y'all were already saying. It's not the same. It wouldn't be the same. It never could be the same after something like that transpires.
And to kind of like sum that up, right? Speaking around a lens of like from the Bible, it talks about the wages of sin is death. And I'm not saying in a context of like just what that is, like sin equals death, but more so like with every action, there's a consequence, right? Like there's bound to be a negative consequence behind a negative action. If you choose to go down this path, understand that, hey, our friendship is not going to be the same. Your relationships outside of like our friendship is not going to be the same. How like society views you is not going to be the same. You know what I'm saying? So like, be mindful of your actions and the things that you do, because there are consequences therein.
Yeah. The only other thing I was going to say about this, and we do got to move on because we got a bunch of other stuff to get into, is that how much of this is seen in like we don't know his upbringing, and that is a factor. And I think we don't dare talk about those things. But if he had experienced domestic violence in his house, it stands to reason that he's going to be performing some of the same things in his own house.
But also, what people understand is he also is a human being who lacks self-control. And so that, like, you can just tell. You can tell by the way he's like, I can see it in pockets where when he's talking, he's still getting angry. He lacks self-control. He lacks the ability just to walk away. So that would show itself not even towards her. Like, they could be out at a restaurant and somebody messes up his order. He just flies off the handle. And so, like, there are red flags towards that behavior. What happens sometimes is that people just think, oh, well, he loves me, he's not gonna do it to me. But he lacks issues of self-control.
Yeah.
And so
and you could kind of see in the video, man. It was moments where like it looked like he was about to walk away, where he was like, nah, I need to do some more. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he needs help. He needs help.
Yeah, for sure.
He does need help. So if you guys don't know, Danny Lay and DaBaby, they got into some drama earlier this week as well. It was a long week. I'm not gonna hold you. It was a long week of various issues transpiring all week long. But they got into it, ended up calling the police, and this is essentially what's going on here.
Anything baby can possibly have, I go get it. I set it up at the penthouse down here in the city. But I'm making clear.
Yeah. Talk about it.
I'm making
Right
here you go. That's cool. But I'm making clear there. I'm making and it's the thing.
Everybody go ahead.
And I'm glad y'all know.
Go ahead.
Here, come here.
You scared?
And I'm glad. No, I'm not scared. Look, and I'm glad she walked out. So as you can see, nobody was put out. And me calling the police, that's like for my safety, because this what I'm dealing with. Like, it's a real deal. Cuckoo. Look.
So there's a bunch of things going on with them in terms of basically they got into a fight. He got on live on her live and basically was like going back and forth the night before. The next morning they resumed their fight again, went on live and went back and forth again. Basically, he called her a side piece. You ain't nothing to me.
He called her a side female dog, like legit.
Yeah, he did call. He called her a side B
on live,
to be exact. And so, which presents, I guess, I don't know. It's like this. What's going on relationally? Like, I mean, I guess going from the domestic violence to the baby and his girl.
Yeah.
Some people were saying, well, Michelle, I think I love that comment. Children being children. Yes, I agree. But at the same time, I also would say, some people were saying, oh, they're doing it to promote his tour and all that stuff. Because he did, after this all transpired, he's doing posts, talking about, hey, man, go get my tickets for my tour. So, like, to throw more eyes, I guess, towards the tour that he's trying to set up right now. I didn't know he was so young. The baby's, I think, like 22, 23. Like, he's young, right? So, like, he's old. He looks like he's 49. I was sitting there like, wait, he's what now? Because he looked like he's 40, he's 45, 49 years old. But it's sad to see our women going through this, right? Like where they're having this whole back and forth and exchange, and now they got a baby together. He's called her a side B. It's a toxic situation in which she was charged. I think she's not charged, but they said things about her being having to deal with the court situation now because of the whole altercation. So it's just interesting how the internet keeps making all this week. There's these kind of back and forth between the relational couples and all that stuff. Because later we'll talk about Faith and Stevie J. They had an altercation as well. I'm gonna just go ahead and go fast forward to that because that's just as equally ridiculous. But they're going back and forth. It's a clip that surfaced between Faith and TJ, and they're arguing in what seems to be their bedroom. And the Love and Hip Hop star is accusing the R&B singer of infidelity. Basically, in the beginning of the video, Faith repeatedly tells Stevie, "I hate you," after he refuses to move away from the bedroom door so that she can't leave. More than once, she asks Stevie to leave her alone and curses him in between. He responds by saying he also hates her as she turns away and walks over to the bed. As she's slowly getting into the bed, Stevie, who is filming the video, begins saying that she cheated on him. So he's upset about that. And what I guess the part I want to talk about a little bit is, what's this thing of letting everybody in your personal business?
That's what I want to know.
Because I don't care. I mean, other than being major stars in these different shows and, a R&B singer, I really don't. I don't want to know about your life. What's going on? Like, why are we going live? What's that? What is that for?
That's the only thing I hated. Like with the baby thing, I was okay with him recording. Like at this point, I'm like, you need to record any evidence.
Yeah, that's evidence.
Like 100%. You need to record.
Yeah.
That way you did, so you can. So and he didn't caught enough L's the past couple of weeks where I don't see this being a publicity stunt to promote his stuff because he right now he can't afford any negative publicity. So to be honest, like he's been catching L's, and so I just feel like, but to go live, that's a young boy stuff. That's what teenagers do.
Yeah,
and he's just immature. That's the part I hate. And then you to disrespect her and to belittle her and stuff like this. Now on the flip side, I have no pity for her. I have no pity for her whatsoever. You get what you signed up for.
Oh my!
I have no sympathy for her at all. You thought you had the golden sprinkle. You thought that you was it. And you thought you saw the way he treated his other baby mom. You thought, oh, but he's gonna do me different. No, he's not. He showed you who he were. You believed it, and now I don't got no pity for her. I just think that they just need to separate and period. But that's just my opinion. I didn't like the live. I did not like the recording, posting it live to embarrass her. Yeah, like no, we don't need to do all that.
Calling the side joint live. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Mike.
Alicia, she put it best. Like it's all about publicity at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like because of the type of career that they're in, right? It's all about how the public sees you, and all the different agencies or whatever, all the different things that you're attached to. that eventually you need the people to be able to buy in, and you go live to make sure they can control the narrative and that they don't look bad at the end of the day. Because if they look bad, then hey, folks ain't gonna rock with them. Stuff ain't gonna sell.
But is that true?
I could see that being some truth.
I don't know. Like I'm pushing back, and I am gonna push back on females because everything they say in their music is so degrading to women. After the day, leave it tomorrow. Everything that they say, they're literally
letting you know exactly what their script's
they're letting you know, and so it's just like if he's disrespecting this female on TV, the people who should ostracize him more than anybody should be women. He's not gonna lose. He gonna lose some fans. He's not gonna lose the vast majority.
Who talking about, TVJ or DaBaby?
DaBaby. He's not gonna lose a vast amount of fans. Not over that. No. He's not gonna lose it.
It fits the narrative of his raps. I agree.
It does. So it's just like, if I think he looks bad.
I think
again, it's still publicity though.
It is publicity. I agree that. Yeah.
And some people have never heard DaBaby, so this might be the first introduction to him. And honestly, he's not our audience. I'm not gonna leave this podcast and hop in my car and put DaBaby on. I'm just not.
I don't own a single song. Not one song.
I've heard some stuff. I've heard some stuff, but I'm like, every song reminds me of Mike Jones. Every song sound the same. It just was like a whole Mike Jones album where it just felt like, man, this track ain't never gonna end. That's how I feel about DaBaby. You know what I mean? So I guess my point in bringing it up was, I thought that he was going to like leave the scene or leave the situation. Like, I'm gonna turn the live on. I'm gonna de-escalate the situation by rolling out. I'm gonna capture everything to make sure I'm good. I thought it was a more smart, calculated 100%. Thing. But for him to stay in that environment, keep throwing fire, gasoline on the environment, I'm like, yo, just leave, bro. You are a wealthy, multi-millionaire rapper, and who's caught
several L's. You've lost several bags the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, you've been losing.
You've been losing. Like
you're right, Alicia. You're right. He was antagonizing her. But in the heat of the argument, I think he wanted to win, and he wanted to win by going live. I don't think he actually did win, but I think he wanted to win by going live.
She actually comes out looking better.
It's a neck and neck for stupid.
Not to me. Don't get me wrong.
It's a neck and neck for stupid. I told you,
I don't have any pity for her at all. Like, it's just, but that's just me.
Yeah, they both looking crazy at the end of the day.
Kyle Rittenhouse was found not freaking guilty on all charges.
Guilty.
He walks away a free man, y'all. I mean, a free man. Like I said, I'm about to walk out this house after not shooting anybody in another state. He about to walk out of his house too, because he's now a free man. Here he is.
As to the first count of the information, Joseph Rosenbaum. We, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the second count of the information, Richard McGinnis, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the third count of the information, unknown male, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the fourth count of the information, Anthony Huber, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the fifth count of the information, Gage Grosskreutz, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty.
Not guilty on all. Rittenhouse was 17 when he left his hometown of Antioch, Illinois, for nearby Kenosha, Wisconsin, 21 miles away, and allegedly shot and killed 2 protesters and wounded a third on August 25th. The protests erupted after police shot Blake, a 29-year-old black father, and he was left paralyzed from the waist down. Rittenhouse and his attorneys have argued that he went to Kenosha to protect businesses amid the protests, and he's now a free man.
I have so much to say about this. and people not going to like it.
So
here's the funny thing.
Is your narrative going to fit Biden's? Because I'm going to smack you right in your mouth.
I haven't seen Biden's narrative.
Well, your president. Your president says, there's no video for it. He says, Biden says he stands by the verdict in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, saying the jury system of trial in the U.S. works and must be respected. Meanwhile, Kamala, VP, says, or Kamala, how you want to say it, I'm sorry. Today's verdict speaks for itself. I've spent a majority of my career working to make our criminal justice system more equitable it's clear there's still a lot more work to do.
They're
directly clashing. They're directly clashing on this topic.
Finally,
well, surprise, surprise! A black woman and a white man ain't on the same page about this. I mean, what's the surprise here?
No, it was something that we were wondering if it was ever going to happen. But
she's making her bid for the next 4 years because we know he's not winning again. She's making her push. That's what that is.
She will not win, Terrence. Let me tell you,
not going to win.
She's not going to win. If she was going to make a push,
they catching L's like as vice president. They catching
First of all, I haven't even seen her. I don't even know she was alive till this last post.
She was president yesterday for 80 minutes. What you mean?
I heard
she's the first black female president for 80 minutes.
No, I'm with John on that. Like, I haven't heard or seen a whole lot about her recently. Like, it's been Biden,
I like Jason. I like Jason's point with this incident. He
has to side with the criminal. I get it.
So
you're not saying nothing. I get it, but I need you to also have an opinion about something that's clear.
Here's what I'm gonna say, John.
You go and shoot somebody in another state, saying you're defending businesses, and you're saying that's not a clear.
Nope, it's not clear.
Terrence holds his own statements. This is not a part of Jonathan Jones or Reality Real Podcast.
Let me see what I'm about to say. It's not clear for the charges that they brought. The charge, he was charged with the following. And this is what people understand. First of all, I like the memes that become or the TikToks that have been like, the Illinois is getting ready for black people rioting. And me and my black people are like, we knew it. Change channel. like, oh, he got off.
Yeah.
We knew it. What else is on TV?
I was surprised. I ain't gonna hold you. I was surprised.
They was gonna riot. They're not right. First of all, 3 white people got killed. Let me be very clear.
Hold on. What are you about to say, Tess? Because I don't
very
know.
Clear. Black people are not going to riot when 3 white people got killed, and we already knew he was going to get off. I feel like if it was black people who got killed, we might have seen some vast amounts of riots. That's number one.
If you talk about riots, I got you.
Yeah. So his charge, I got to read it so you guys understand his charges. He was charged with first-degree intentional homicide, first-degree intentional homicide, first-degree reckless homicide, first-degree reckless endangering safety, first-degree reckless endangering safety. So 2 counts of first-degree. They have to be able to prove that he went out with the intention to kill people. He went out with the intention. His intention was to kill those particular people. Do you understand? First-degree is so difficult to prove. Like, first-degree homicide is like, I knew the person. I woke up this morning. I bought the gun. I mapped out my strategy.
Is your whole point that they filed the wrong charges?
They filed the wrong charges. That's what I'm saying. Yes, they filed the wrong charges. It's second-degree manslaughter at best, and they didn't even do it. They didn't even try him because you can try at the same time. You could have charged him with second degree. Yeah, they didn't even do that. So the fact that I just think this was a complete travesty of a defense, like of a prosecutor.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they didn't see the people that died or the people that got, that were hurt in this incident. They didn't see them as victims, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, that goes to show you what type of charges they were going to try to apply in the first place.
The charges were horrible. They were absolutely horrible. So I understand why he got off. And so I don't know if Biden's coming from that point. I'm coming from the point that the charges.
No, Biden's an idiot. Go ahead.
Yeah, he is an idiot. I'm just coming to the point that what they charged him for, I understood why he got off because of that's first degree. There's no way. Just like, what's the other case? The Ahmaud Arbery. I don't think they're being charged for first degree. I'm correct. I want to know what they're being charged for.
Yes, I'm with you. Thank you, Terrence, for going right there because I did want to go there anyway. So let me go there real quick while we're doing triggering things. I want to keep all the triggers happening at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go.
Yelled at you guys. Never threatened you at all.
No, ma'am. Yeah, he did not threaten me verbally. No, ma'am.
Didn't brandish any weapons.
No, ma'am.
Didn't pull out any guns.
No, ma'am.
Didn't pull out any knife.
No, ma'am.
Never reached for anything, did he?
No.
He just ran.
Yes, he was just running.
All right. So that's Ahmaud Arbery. And so
who was that guy?
That's the guy that killed him.
Okay.
So Arbery was black and the 3 men charged with his murder are white. Prosecutors say Arbery was out for a jog when the suspects chased him through the neighborhood, cornering him with their pickup trucks and shot him. And if y'all remember this particular situation, the defendants say they thought he was a burglary suspect and they acted in self-defense. Their assumptions, prosecutors say, were false, and a 911 call made by one of the defendants suggested the central role race would play in the case. All of this is quote, all of this, and what does he say his emergency is? Lead prosecutor Linda, whatever her last name is, told the jury, I'm out here in Scintilla Shores, and there's a black male running down the street. That's the emergency. The quote. So that's basically what the person stated before he was killed. So I don't know what they're charged with, Terrence. I don't know.
I'm looking at it right now. Aggravated assault, kidnapping, attempted kidnapping, malice murder. I don't see what the degree is. False imprisonment, criminal attempt to commit a felony. I don't know what the degree is. But those charges already sound better than the one that they tried to charge Kyle Rittenhouse with.
Exactly.
Like it's just I just felt like the guy was you are an idiot. You're a buffoon. Makes sense. Now, it does not mean I don't think that this whole entire trial has several aspects of white privilege. That's a fact.
Yeah,
there was white privilege going all throughout this trial. You know, it's just
including the judge that was super cuddly was the prosecution. I just think the bottom line with it is I'm so tired of white people when it comes to this topic and them getting away with crime. I mean,
it's privilege,
like crime overall.
Like I mean, just crime. Legit. I mean, literally, this person. And here's the issue that I have. Even before him killing anybody, if I leave my house right now with a rifle and walk down the street, I'm gonna get killed just for doing something like that, or at least at minimum arrested. This boy that was 17 at the time, I believe, goes and takes this rifle into another state and walks behind a police officer, and nothing happens. There's footage of him walking behind a police officer as if he's one of them, and then his 17-year-old brain allows him to think that it's okay for him to do such thing, and I'm going to defend the police, I'm going to defend the businesses or what have you, and I'm going to shoot some people. Shoots them, and does not get arrested. Now, I'm sorry, gets arrested and released, but does not get charged. What I'm going to say. So now, can we parallel that for a second? My cousin robbed somebody at gunpoint with somebody else. Didn't kill nobody, didn't shoot nobody, didn't do none of those things. Just stole stuff, and he gets locked up for 8 years. Didn't kill nobody, didn't shoot nobody. Just the attempt was like, you're gonna get 8 years, and was I think charged for more than that, but didn't get the full. So I'm sitting here looking at the clear bias, and you can't help but be like, okay, if we stop getting tired of it, then what? Because then it becomes normal or normal.
100%. 100%.
So it's unfortunate that like when that happened with what's his name, Aubrey, or
Aubrey.
Yeah, what happened to him at that time, I was just like getting into the wing of things with like my exercising and everything like that. I'm going running like 3 times a week or whatever. And when that happened, man, like it struck a nerve in me to be like, yo, should I not go 100%. Out running anymore? You know what I'm saying? Like it's moments like that where I have to look forward to, like, whenever I'm going somewhere, whether it's across the states, whether it's, freaking down the street, not so much, but if I'm traveling somewhere, I want to check to make sure, hey, what's the black population like? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it more of me than it is of them, or like an opposite race or whatever like that? And it's unfortunate that I have to think like that, because if I end up in a scenario where I'm just running down the street, if I'm seeing like the only black person there, me and my wife, the only black people there, and it's all, Caucasians around me, I'm just like, it puts that thing in you to make you think like, this could be my last time traveling somewhere. I might not make it home today. Like, these are the things that we have to think about now. We've been thinking about for some time, and that's the privilege. That's the privilege, man. They have the privilege to be able to get away with clear murder, obviously, but get away with crimes and all that other stuff. But when it comes to us, we have to second guess everything, man. Everything.
Yeah, like we are trying to move by a home right now, and the thing is, we're looking at this area, and I'm just going to be flat out this area in Maryland that has like schools that rank 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, like some of the top schools in Maryland. I'm like, okay, cool, we can afford to live here. It's a nice home, but I said, but what's the equity like? and it's 90% white. And so I'm just like, I can't do it. And the thing is, that's the lack of privilege, right? Then I got to look at this other area that is more diverse. It's like, 60% white, 20% Asian, like, 20% black, like more diverse, right?
Yeah.
But the school system is only 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10. And it's like, I got to pick this area because of the experience my child might have and that I might have versus this area that does have the better schools, higher performing schools, but at what cost? And that's the lack of privilege. And that's all I want some white people to understand is privilege is when you don't have to make that decision.
Yeah.
Like that makes sense. And you get it just by being born white. You didn't earn it. You just get it because you were white. And so the trial has several aspects of white privilege. And I understand why he got off. I just think between the judge, the jury that was picked, and even the charges that were filed, because I just feel like that's privilege. Because had that been I feel like if it was a black person on trial, they would have like, nope. It'd have been. I just feel like I can't help but feel like they would have been like, we might not win this, but we are going to win this. So we're going to charge him with this. Makes it like we're going to charge him with like it's just all. He just got the benefit. He got a clean slate. He got a clean benefit because he's white, 17, and crying. And no one cared about your tears at all.
Yeah, no, everybody clearly cared about his tears because he got off of it. So
I was about to say, you talk about what's his name, Daniel Craig, being a good actor in James Bond. That boy on that trial with all them tears.
Yeah,
that
Oscar.
So in order to not be totally triggered by our episode, because we don't want that, as we come to an end, we want to show y'all this one last clip. That's something I think is actually very true. Forgive me, female drivers out there. I'm going to just say a fact that is just, it's just true.
Hit it. Show them, girl. Yeah, boom, bow.
It's just true, y'all. Women drivers aim for the curbs. Okay, they just be out here hitting curbs. And let me tell you something else. Anytime I'm driving, no matter where I am, and I see somebody fly by me, it is less likely to be a man in that car. It is less likely a dude racing by me, period. I'm gonna just tell you that. Anytime I ever catch up to him, I look over, I'm like, this is a chick in this car flying. I'm already doing 75.
I'm gonna say, John, you probably are doing 85.
I'm doing 75. He's doing 93. I'm like, okay, chick. All right, I got it. Yeah, Joe, I had to say it. So the truth of the matter is, y'all be hitting curbs. Y'all be driving fast.
They don't care about rims.
No.
They don't care about scuffing the tires, scuffing the rims.
Oh, rims.
Like, they don't understand it. Like, your rims are so expensive. Like, bump the tire, the rim. Like,
when my rims and tires were stolen off my car, and this is before I had the car I have now, the Mercedes car, right? They stole this. So I never told any of y'all on the podcast, but I came out to take the trash, and I noticed when I was coming back from taking the trash out that my car was sitting tremendously lower than it was when I left out, whatever the car. So I just kind of like, how you walk in and you're like, something just feel different about my car. Yeah. So I just started looking I said, oh my God, my car is on blocks, right? Running the house. And I tell Jovita's like, oh, okay, did you call the police? First of all, why are you so calm? Did you do this? Did you plan this? Yeah, because I'm like, you are too calm. You almost knew that this is going to happen to me. And so I'm like looking for somebody to have the same level of response. So I'm going to leave you. I had to call my dad. Say, Dad, look, somebody stole my rims and tires. He's like, oh my God, somebody stole your rims and tires. Oh my God, son, I'm so sorry. I'm like, Dad, thank you for doing
the energy you needed.
That's the energy I needed. My wife didn't give it. Thank you so much, Dad, for doing that for me. Anyway, I go through insurance. They tell me the rims and tires for this car is worth $7,500. When I tell you, first of all, I said, whoever followed me home and took those rims and tires, they know the market. I didn't know the market.
They do. Oh,
they were like, those are $70,500 tires. I can get rims and tires. They took that jump, put it on the black market. I have never been the same in this house. Now, you talking about somebody that want to own a gun and walk around the house? That's me. Okay, I just want to walk around with a rifle. Like, who wants to come on my property right now?
Jason feels your pain. Jason feels your pain right now. Like, look,
what did Jason say? I just had to replace my tires and got in alignment because my girlfriend hit the curb in my car. Now it doesn't drive quite quietly anymore. Bruh, listen. Yeah. Yes, and yes, Alicia, it was that expensive. And look, when they told me, I said, I'm so glad, I'm grateful that I have you nationwide. I'm glad you're on my side because I need you.
$7,000.
$7,500.
That's a car.
No, hey,
that's
so
a used car.
Legit. When I have, female friends or whatever, I go by and check their cars or whatever. Sometimes they ask me for help with their cars, right?
Of course.
So I go by and look at their cars, tires and stuff like that. And guess what I see? Bent up rims. Or like scratched up rims, and I'd be like, God, you gotta take care of these rims.
That's what happens. They don't care about the rims. They don't rims. What? Okay, let me tell you something. I only find out things about the car, my wife's car, when I get in it. I don't ever. She don't ever be like, "Hey, John, tires pressure's low," and no, that don't happen. I gotta go in there and be like, "Well, dang, where the rims at? Where the tire go? Where the steering wheel at?" And she just be like, "Oh yeah, the steering wheel gone. I forgot. I didn't tell you that." Yeah, you never told me the steering wheel's not here no more.
It's all true.
Yeah, and let me make sure I clear this up. It's not every female friend that I have. Like some of them, they do take care of them. All right, but some of them, I have
never, Mike. I will stand on this podium by myself. I have never met a woman that says I have taken care of my car ever. I don't know nobody that's like, I take care of my car. I am immaculate about my car. I haven't met a woman like that.
I believe in broad strokes, but I'm with John on this one.
I've never met it. I've never met a woman that's like that.
Like with the care,
not to that level.
Listen, with the care and love that they take care of a home, they don't do that with the car.
No,
and that's the thing. It's like with the house. I clean up, like, you don't see that spot that's right there underneath. You don't see that stain right there.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I did not see that stain right there. I don't think anybody could see that stain right there. As a matter of fact, we hired cleaners and they didn't see that stain right there, but you saw it. I want you to have that same loving care with the car, like with the carpet, with vehicles, your car ain't been washed in 2 months. You don't think you should?
I think they think it's our job to do that.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I think they think it's our job to do it because I know Renee, she does that with me. She's like, okay, hey, this is what's going on with the car or whatever. Granted, she do what she can do, but there's a limit, and she's like, all right, I need you to kind of take care of the rest.
I take on that burden. I don't care. I take on that burden.
I'm cool.
I'm about to say, I'm not reading.
Yeah. I don't mind that. I actually don't mind that at all. It's pretty good. I just want people to know that it is some work. It is like, it's not like cleaning. Let's be very clear. Broad strokes. Cleaning your girl's car out versus cleaning your car out is a time differential. It will take me it will take me maybe at best 20 minutes, 25 minutes to clean my car out. It will take me
now that I got to do it for another one.
It would take me 2 hours or 3 hours to clean Tanisha's car out.
That's actually a really good point too. I mean,
so it's just a level of like, makes sense. Like,
no, it does make sense. And I want to speak to something else. My sister wants to come and say something about her car. I don't know about your car because I don't see it. But when I get to Ohio, I'm checking rims first. Okay, if I see bent rims, scratch rims, anything rim issues, I'm gonna be like, yep. I'm gonna zoom in, take a picture, and I'm putting it on Instagram. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all know exactly whose car that is. That's Kalita's car. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening to the Real Material Podcast. We discuss real, raw, and relatable topics. Man, it looks like you guys are having your own separate conversation about Kyle and all the other stuff, and I'm not even gonna be a part of that. I'm at a point now where I'm just like, all right, I've washed my hands of it. I'm done with it. We're just not doing it anymore. Okay, so Kyle, you got away with one. I'm just not. I don't know. You're not safe no more. That's clear.
Clearly.
Like you got it. You're a George Zimmerman as far as culture is concerned. You got to be on the high. Anything else, gentlemen?
No, that's it.
I'm good to go, man. Ladies, just take better care of the cars, please, and thank you on behalf of men.
Or just take your car through a car wash that cleans out the inside and outside of your vehicle. What's up, Richard? Good to see you, brother. That does that. It's something simple. You don't have to actually clean your whole car out. You could just take all the things out of your car and then let the people that go and work in those capacities take care of it. And just surprise your husband as a gift. Say, hey, you know what? I knew you might have to take care of that. Then you don't have to worry about that. I got that taken care of.
That's a gift. Love.
Is that a gift, brother?
That's a gift.
Like you would feel like you would receive that?
I feel like you should take my car. I think you should take my car to get it clean.
Let me tell you something. Woo. If Jovita, since she's on here talking trash, if you want to make me tremendously happy, go ahead, clean my car out, put some gas in it, and get a car wash detailed. Merry Christmas to Jonathan. That's all. Listen. That's all. I would be like, bro, ugly tears cry. I would cry myself to sleep. Okay, Christmas card detailing gifts on the way. That's right, Jamal. We are looking for that. All right, under the tree. I want a detailing shop. Okay, and a card. Okay. Thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. We love you, man. Thank you so much. My name is John.
My name's Mike.
And I still think that Lil Baby is a better rapper than the Baby. Anyway.
Okay,
so
all right. No, we're not doing that. We're not. First of all, no, and second of all, no, and third of all, no. Guys, take care. Have a great week. We love y'all. Talk to y'all soon. Peace.